Good evening, everybody. I thank everybody that was able to show up. And I'd like to thank everybody that was able to help out last year. I think we got quite a bit of accomplished in a couple of cemeteries. And hopefully we can maybe get even more accomplished this year. I know it may have been short notice on canceling the December meeting, but with that weather that came in, I felt like as far as some people had to travel and it got nasty pretty quick. So my apologies for the short notice on the cancellation of that meeting. But Nancy did send out the meetings minutes from the November meeting. Does anybody have any questions or remember those?
Motion that we accept November minutes.
Okay. Motion was made and seconded to accept the minutes. So that will be done. Some workday suggestions. I know we've got some large monuments in Mount Carmel that we need to get reset before they put the fence up. Sugar Creek.
Yeah, we do. It was on my list.
Okay. Yes, that's on my list too. And I know it's supposed to be pretty warm this week during the day, but it's probably going to drop down still into the 30s at night. So I don't think this week is going to be a good week, even though and it's supposed to rain several days. So we may, I think Thomas said he could wait till we actually got the monuments up.
Take long to get them up once we get out there, get everything set up.
Right.
The first level, now it's just the second level, the part that needs to go back up. Famous last words, I know.
Got done last year.
I was gonna do that before I came and then I forgot it. That's okay. But I will work on it. I got the list at home. I'll look and let you know. There was a bunch. I mean.
Yeah, I know our last meeting, you and Cindy both.
We were bouncing numbers back and forth. Her count, my count.
Yeah, and it was a large number. I was really very pleased and pleasantly surprised at how many got done.
Right. You're gonna put it on my gravestone. Oh, she did 123 stones last year.
You probably did more than that.
I
mean, with what you did in Sugar Creek and Simmons and Alford, yeah, I'm sure you probably did more than that.
Sugar Creek.
Do we have any suggestions on some projects for this next summer? Maybe after we get Sugar Creek.
I still want us to beat around how to get that one up in Fish. Thought about it all winter long. That big tall one.
Mm-hmm.
I would really love to get that up. I have the equipment to do it, but I really would like to get it up. How? Dynamite. I don't know, but
I took, yeah. I did take pictures out there one day, and I think you gave me the measurements. And I will go back to Warely Monuments here in town Because I know the last time I talked to them, the guy said that they do help out in the community somewhat. And if they could maybe get one of their trucks back there, that would be,
Oh, we got. If you're,
yeah, we'd have to wait until the ground was really dry, especially on top. But
Would, you know,
we could probably, and they may have plywood that they lay down. Because I know the guy that opens the graves for us at Simmons, he has plywood that he lays down to drive his track hoe across the yard.
about if we have to replace some, you know, divots, it just is better for the equipment, I would think.
Yeah, and we don't want to upset the neighbors either. But yes, if we can get that one up, and also, like I say, finish in Sugar Creek.
Another one in Sugar Creek, the north side, very north side, almost by the chicken coop. It's a military marker that's sunk.
Yes,
The fence line is going to be like right there beside it. I thought when we do the tall ones, if we have enough people, have someone over there, because you know that thing's going to be 40 inches at least, and it's only maybe that much above. So.
right. And the way some of those bases are, they were a lot bigger than what we thought.
So that it's, you know, level, raised back up to normal level. So when they put the fence in, we won't worry about hurting the fence or hurting the stone trying to.
Right. Okay. Hopefully, maybe the middle of April, maybe the end of April, we'll be able to get in there and get all those done.
We got most of the old section done. There's still a handful that aren't done, and there's 3 I have to redo. The mortar in the slot did not cure properly.
Oh,
It was so hot, dry, and so I talked with Limeworks, and they said, you know, 80 to 85 degrees unless you really, really wrap, you know, take burlap that's damp and bag it, all this stuff so that it doesn't dry out so quickly. That's kind of my fault for not having it bagged up because everything else was doing great. And then all of a sudden, it's like, I mean, they're still upright, but you can move it. It's not going to be life-sustaining with that.
okay.
I'll do that as soon as the weather is good enough to be out there to, that way it has a nice cooler temperature to cure instead of.
Right. You think of any other cemeteries?
Creek at Burris Hendricks.
Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah,
Figured it out or you did it?
I did it.
You did not?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. And the one that's beside it, you know, Jane Harvey, she's down on the ground now. I put her on the ground. Then there's one, William Russell, who's in the back row, who was
Estes
falling
Harvey,
off.
not.
Yeah, I knew which one you meant, but
Sorry.
let me find a photo.
Luckily, we don't have a whole lot of them that are falling into the creek.
Right. The ones at Burris Hendricks that were in that back down the ravine, we got those up. They're all up, that whole row there. 2 little Dobbins babies that were in the front of Sugar Creek.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go in Sugar Creek at all. I don't know why they're there. Their bases aren't there, just the monument and the plinth is there on both of them. because the death certificates, obituaries, and I found an old library list on the Latter-day Saints site that listed the cemetery, and they're in it. So here's 3 pieces of material that says they go to Mount Gilead Reeves, not to Sugar Creek.
Hmm,
And Sugar Creek because they've been laying up there for,
okay.
have no idea why they were ever brought there. This is so odd.
Who are the parents?
Minnie, her name's, she's a Jarrett. That's how I know. Minnie Jarrett, of course. What's her husband's name? Because the grandparents are buried at Mount Gilead. Little kiddos' grandparents are at Mount Gilead, and the parents are in Park. Her parents are in Gravelon. So they're kind of all spread out, but I would really like to get out there with the little sheet that shows where the burials were found around the Dobbinses once and see if there's place, unmarked burials near those, because that's probably where they would have been buried.
Right.
Yes. Because the bases, they didn't come to Sugar Creek. Want to dig those out.
Yeah.
But those are, here I want to get them over where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Supposed to go in which cemetery?
Supposed to go in Mount Gilead Reeves,
Oh.
and they're in Sugar Creek, just laying there in the front. They were just laying there.
No.
It's weird.
Makes sense.
It's really weird.
Are there any, I know there are, but what cemeteries might there be in Sugar Creek or Brandywine Township that we might be able to work in this next year?
Think about it between now and next month.
Yeah. I'll add that to the agenda for next month again. Mickey wanted to speak about Mount Comfort Cemetery. So, Mickey, you wanted to talk about Mount Comfort Cemetery? Here, you want the microphone?
Just don't want my back to. So Mount Comfort Cemetery had been being maintained by with money from a trust. They ran out of money. So Kelly Paw called a year ago and said, we're gonna get there someday. We're okay. And so she called and said, okay, we're there. We're gonna power wash the fence, and we've got a couple other little things to, I think a couple of stones to repair. And then she said, we're done. And so I said, okay, that's fine. If you can, obviously it goes to the township. If you can, do the deed work at least, then I'll take it. We'll add it to our list and, try to fumble through without having the advantage of having that added to our budget. But it's okay. The same guy, Zach Zoomwalt, that does all of our stuff, he also already maintains that. So I talked to him about maybe he could be gentle on us right now. So we worked it out. We will be tight. I think we're probably going to be about 18 on a normal year for cemetery mowings, and our budget's 20. So that doesn't leave much room for tree work or anything else. But that's what we have to do. It's fine. So I said, if you can do the deed stuff, just let me know. So she started looking into it, and it was deeded to the county. And they had been paying for, out of this trust, for it to be maintained all of these years, because that's what Mel Branson told them that had to be done. So I apologized profusely. I can't do anything about the money that's already been spent. So it's deeded to the county, not the township. So Sarah called from the commissioner's office and said, you know, what do you want to do with this? How should we fix this? And I said, well, Mud Creek Township tax money can't be used to maintain a cemetery that we don't own. So either we need to own it and I'll somehow take that over, or if the county wants to own it, we can have our guy do it, but they're gonna have to pay him, you know, or pay us to have him do it or whatever. So I don't care who owns it, but I wanted to bring it to this body in case y'all had an opinion. And tomorrow is the commissioners meeting, and I'm going to the commissioners meeting to discuss that with them, to see if they have an opinion or how they want that to get resolved. But I thought I would bring it to you all to see if you had an opinion or how you would like to see that handled.
Just off the top of my head, I don't think the commissioner will want the county to take care of it. I might be wrong.
They would probably say, get it.
And like I said, I don't mind doing that. We're gonna be tight on money if I do that. And so I asked Sarah if the discussion can be, if we run out or get, you know, too tight toward the end of the year, if they can help with that, and I don't know, forgive my ignorance, I don't know what your all's budget goes for, or how that kind of comes down to you. If that's you know, cause I don't know the commissioners are gonna be able to put, you know, this much money aside for, but, so I'm up for.
I just think that it, because all the others with the township, they want the responsibility of just the one. Maybe wrong.
Well, and trying to keep up with the, you know, the mowing and, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
Do you know what that Mount Comfort Cemetery costs to maintain? Like, do you know how many mowings a season they have now?
Yeah, and I should have brought that information. I think he plans on 10 mowings. So he mows, currently he mows all of our cemeteries once a week. And so, he does that already, but it's so much bigger. So it is, I think instead of, please don't quote me on this, I think instead of like our cemeteries, which are mostly about $80 a week or something, that he charges like $100 for that one, but then times 10 weeks, or 10 mowings, and that's on a regular, you know, mowing schedule, not counting, you know, any other additional cleanup or extra rain or, you know, whatever.
Maybe we'll have a dry summer.
Save the budget, right? So I'm happy to work with whoever and however we need to do it. I'm just limited on my budget, and I can't spend township money on a county asset.
Right.
Take care of cemeteries.
The townships,
All of them?
as far as I know. I mean, the statutes that I've read, that yes,
That's my understanding. I mean, but I have a little slice of the world, you know.
right.
But
I don't know if it would be possible or if you would be willing to consider maybe cutting back on mowing the other cemeteries every week. I mean, obviously, if we have a wet spring and summer, yes, they're going to probably need to be mowed at least once a week.
our cemetery's nice, Bill. What?
And you do a very, very good job of that.
That's all Zach.
Well, could we consider helping out for that?
Yeah, that was, I was going to suggest that too. We can help out as much as we can.
I'm not, that's not why I wanted to bring this up.
No, but we,
I wanted to present the issue and see if.
But under the circumstances, until you get it included in your budget, maybe we can consider, I mean, even if we table that for now, but I mean, we could consider contributing to that maintenance, because that's what we do. I mean, we help to maintain. So
I think overall, I think that cemetery's in pretty good condition, isn't it?
Like I said, they were gonna, power wash the fence to get that all nice and cleaned up, and there's some big limbs down there right now, but nothing, it is in pretty good shape. And
The bad
the
tree is
good
gone.
news, what's that?
And the bad tree is gone.
Oh, yeah, the big one.
Yeah, in the middle.
I don't know, would the parishioners jump in and help mow?
No. I mean, the problem with having anybody else do it is that you run into the corner, spray supposed to, and, like, I don't, it's
does a good job.
fairly, a niche.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was at least happy that I knew that Zach took care of that anyway. And if he wanted to, he obviously wants to continue taking care of that, whoever is doing it. But, so.
I mean, I don't have a problem. And I guess maybe next month we'll have more people here.
That we're just trying to figure out what to do with the deed.
Okay.
If the county does not want that, that's fine. Deeded us. If they don't want to if they want to hold on to it and don't want to take care of it, it seems like both of those are my problem. So,
Right.
and I've got provisions for them. I just may run tight on.
Yeah. And like I say, I don't have a problem with us helping out how and where we can.
That was not my intent, but I appreciate the offer.
Have you heard any more on cemetery at Cumberland?
Cemetery what?
At Cumberland. Was that Fish?
Sniper.
Yes.
Snyder, okay.
Development, which is Lennar. Lennar has put hold on about half of their projects in the United States.
Okay.
And so what I know, because I got a call last year from Cumberland that says, we're getting calls because the cemetery's not being maintained. And go, well, I don't own it. Sorry. So they sent their mowing guys over there. Cumberland did. So if they're the ones that annexed all of that land. So Merry Christmas, that comes with it until you want to deed that over, to us. Again, that's another one that I'm like, that's going to have to come with some change.
Right.
Because it's not in my budget. And so that's, I talk to them about once every 3 months or something about that. And that's.
Okay. Well, again, as far as Mount Comfort, we will help however we can.
Do you mind that I talk to the commissioners tomorrow and make that offer, or at least say that we had a conversation about that?
No.
Idea of like what it's gonna cost and.
Yeah, I do have those numbers. I failed to bring them. I brought the GPR stuff and I brought the deed, and so it was.
But if it's a work in progress, then yeah, I mean.
I have the quote. I already have matter of fact, I already signed the contract, for my other cemeteries already with him for this year, and it's on there.
I'm glad he's the one doing it now anyway, that helps.
Because he knows where the nooks and crannies and.
Right.
Tips and, all. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to maintain that as much as we
I-
can too. I mean, that's a vested interest as far as we're concerned too.
Knows not to, all that stuff. Right. There for sure. The other, if you don't mind, if I
No.
bore you all with, there's a little bit of a situation. I am in a contested race, in the primary. And, my opponent is, pretty much dismissing, cemeteries. So, I just wanna bring it up because I don't know I don't know how this is gonna go, and it's, it's not out of my hands, but I'm working, I will do my best, and it may go my way, maybe not. And so, in addition to, the township assistants, he's saying that, which are ironically the only two that are in Indiana code that the township absolutely has to do. Nonetheless, I'm not sure how that's gonna, turn out, but I wanna make sure that you're at least aware of that. And if anyone were inclined to, want to pitch in and help us get over the finish line here, that would be greatly appreciated. So just heads up on that. I appreciate it. I wouldn't, usually uncomfortable, and I appreciate
Well, I don't know who your opponent is, and I don't know if it's correct for me to stand here and say that I hope you win because you've done an awful lot to help us.
what we do, and I feel very passionate. You guys are taught me so much about all of this. I wouldn't know a thing without your knowledge. Assistance, I mean, my goodness, I don't own a shovel, so it's very difficult to try to maintain cemeteries with no shovel. And there's, me and Jennifer, so I'm not sure how we're supposed to, in our dress, pants.
But we've seen you do it.
I say, I got extra shovels.
Yeah. But it's a nice relationship, and I would like to see that maintained both for the town, for the assets in the township, regardless of who is managing that.
Yes, we'd like to maintain that relationship as well.
Thank you.
I also had asked Mickey who she had do the ground penetrating radar at Fish. So she was gracious enough to send me a copy of the invoice. And I'm not familiar with these folks. They're out of Knightstown.
Just started. He was pretty proud of his equipment that they just bought. So him and his wife were just starting that business. So do they do thoroughly? I don't know any of that. It's hard to.
Have you got the site documentation back yet?
Yes.
Does it seem pretty complete?
Just like all of our others, the fence was put in the wrong place.
Well, we kind of knew that when we were putting it up.
Stragglers on the outside, fence there, but yeah, it seems accurate to the best of my knowledge. It's feasible, at least, of what they.
Do you remember what the size of that cemetery is?
It was so on the back where the lilies are. When then it kind of goes down, it dips down. There's a lot of people down there.
Really?
East,
Yeah.
like toward the park.
Toward the park. Yep.
If you can't get east, it was toward the park. Yeah, on the outside the east fence. Yeah, there were some there.
No, I thought there was somebody
When we
there.
did the fence, the only thing we have to go by is to put the fence back where the,
Absolutely, yeah.
We did the best with the information that we had. And then, but the invoice on this was $650. Now, he's, fairly new. Again, I don't have any way of judging whether all that's accurate or not. seemed like it could be. But we ended up splitting that with the family, the Fish family that was there that day. They were gonna pay for the whole thing, and I said, I'm not comfortable with that. Let's at least, I'll split it with you. So we paid $325. Even if, I don't wanna waste $325, but even if there's no validity to what they did, that's dirt cheap. Because I think we paid $6,000 for Arnett
Yeah.
louder.
Yeah.
And that's why I was asking what the size of it was, because, I mean, yeah, the price seemed pretty cheap.
Again, like they had just started out.
Size.
Yeah,
Either
it
one
would
size?
probably have, but I don't know what it's measuring either.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, it would have a dimension, but I don't know what it's actually, where the lines are.
When we went back, so the Fish family had some old documents, and they were thinking at the time, the guy that came from Kansas, the older gentleman, he was thinking that, where's Aunt Betty, and what, we're missing a few people here. I don't know. And so maybe down in that little swale that's.
But they didn't find any outside the fence except on that side?
I'll have to look at the thing
Okay.
again, Janelle. I don't honestly don't remember.
We expected there to be some on that side because we kind of,
We had to put the fence back in its footprints because we couldn't get it surveyed. And it's in a floodplain, which is weird because it sits way up on the hill.
Well, and I was thinking too that it was gonna be, in my mind, if $6,000 is what we spent before, I was thinking that one will be 2 or 3, which of course we didn't have. Had I known that it was only gonna be $6 or $50, I might have done that before we decided to put the fence back. Site is $50.
the fence still looks nice.
It does look nice. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks to Bill and
And we've got
the
the
several
stones
others.
surrounded, so.
So it looks complete. People don't know that there's people outside.
That may be, it may be something that we can put on a future agenda to try to find if there's any markers out there.
On the ravine.
I hate to,
Pry bar, shovel.
Well, let's just get that stone set first, shall we?
I hate to try and take that fence out. All those posts are set in concrete.
On the fence. Those
Just-
Rooms.
There you go.
the different compounds that they have in the cemeteries where they have their concrete,
Mhm.
marking out, this is that family plot and this is this family plot.
Have 2 different family rooms. Yeah. Yes, we can maybe, like I say, put that on future agenda and see what we can find.
I do have all the documentation that went with that. Matter of fact, I think we've got it in a little binder to be able to add it to our big binder that we.
Okay. One other thing I had on here was election of officers, since it's a new year, but we may have to table that for next month and hopefully we'll have more people. So,
Do you remember? We got an email at the end of December. Jamie Reeder, in charge of the cemetery registry at the Department of Natural Resources.
mm-hmm.
Got a call from a lady in Shelbyville that works at Fountain Town Gas, and I found a stone. And it belongs to a guy buried in Mountain Comfort.
Exactly like the stone that is in Mount Comfort.
Yeah.
The only
so-
difference is the one that was in the basement has a crack in it. I don't know if since it's a military marker, I don't know if they replaced it because it was cracked.
Well, Kelly was going to make arrangements to get it, to put it, she knows where it goes in the Mount Comfort Cemetery
Yeah.
by his parents. So this guy was, he was born in 1921 and died at the Battle of the Bulge in World War. So he deserved to put where he belonged.
Something that something that Cindy had sent out in an email, and Jackie, you may know the answer. If not, I'll have to run it by Cindy. But Jamie Reeder was also, I guess, letting Cindy know that anybody doing any cleaning of stones needed to get permission from the DNR. Now, I don't know if that would be the same as probing, that if one person has been approved and they're at the cemetery with anybody else that's cleaning, that's okay, or if actually anybody that's doing any cleaning has to be approved. Yeah, I'll either check with Cindy or, yeah. Because if everybody that's in the cemetery cleaning a stone has to be approved, they're going to get a lot of paperwork.
Or get a lot from us.
Yeah.
Each individual one, we got to fill out a form for each and every one of them in the county that we work in. A blanket thing. Part of the cemetery commission, we're going to be, these are the names of the cemeteries, these are your trustees, there you go, and have a mass approval that way. Yeah, I got to start on that. I didn't do it at.
Okay.
I know. It's just a lot. There's so many cemeteries.
Yeah. We're just getting started. So.
By Beacon is 0.21 acres, so less than a quarter of an acre.
But I wonder if that's just where the fence is. It's not?
Because we got a square fence in this.
Okay.
Goes along the creek line. So it goes, even though we have the fence there on it'd be the north side, it goes further by what this shows.
Okay.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, but what it's showing.
Oh, a little bit less than a quarter of an acre. Yeah, that's not a bad price for. And I know the equipment was probably pretty expensive if they got pretty good equipment. Our next meeting will be April the 6th, which is the Monday after Easter. Does anybody have anything else they want to add or bring up, throw out there? The next month when we have election of officers, is anybody going to be interested in becoming president? Kim, you volunteered?
I second that.
Okay. Well, I guess with that, if I can have a motion to adjourn. Kim makes a motion, Janelle seconds. Meeting is adjourned.